team for us. What's it going to consist of?
Well, today we're going to see the airplane practice a simulated flame-out approach. It just has a single engine that is right in the middle of the fuselage. It is essentially designed around what you might recognize from the F-104, from high key of a simulated flame-out approach. As you can hear the engine winding down, you see drag devices beginning to come out in the form of flaps and speed brakes. That drag will help simulate that the engine is flamed out. It will now execute a 360-degree turn down to the runway, at which point it will meet his mobile officer, that's the chase car, where it will top him down, get very close to the runway, and then take off again for another circuit. So as of right now, that profile that you see is exactly what it would look like if the engine was flamed out.
Now, you mentioned the chase car there. It's a Dodge Charger, isn't it, these days?
Right, just like the police have.
And this is necessary because of various aspects of the low-speed handling characteristics and, of course, the design of the airframe, isn't it?
It is. There's a lot of tricky parts to landing a U2, one of which is that the pilot is extremely tired and there's no one else to help him do it.
Yes.
So we have another pilot in the car chasing to provide inputs as the aircraft lands. So this pilot may have, not today, but on a mission sortie, may have been flying for 9.5, 10 hours and will be extremely fatigued. So that pilot that has fresh eyes in the car will be able to talk the pilot down, help him through any crosswind inputs that may be required, which are very difficult to see over the long nose, which varies in length depending on the sensor.
Of course.
So it's not always the same. Every pound was an extra foot in altitude. So the more you saved, the higher you went. And that was the name of the game at the time.
Now we hope here to be able to hear the communications with the chase car. The chase car is positioned, where is it positioned at the moment?
It'll be positioned on the taxiway, if he's where he usually is. And
I see it now.
As he gets his clearance to land, or clearance to low approach, the light bar will come on, the mobile officer will accelerate onto the runway to execute a merge or a formation rejoin with the aircraft.
So, next part of the display coming up then.
So the second part fall in my head. Yeah. And in the interview where you they check to see if you have the aptitude or maybe the lack thereof to fly this airplane.
Yeah.
They put you in the suit, put you in an ejection seat on wheels, take you in a dark corner of a dark room, and leave you there for an hour. And then they come back an hour later and see if you're still there.
A very privileged slot, isn't it, getting to join the U2 program?
You could think so in some ways.
To move forward a few more meters. And 215, able to go forward a few meters. Thank you. So is there any other leaders in the green-brown area? You want to come over? Bravo to hold the U2 short when it's vacated.
And there you can see the chase car in pursuit as the U2 rolls down the runway.
That's right. There's a whole host of modern sensors, along with there might be some other reconnaissance aircraft flying at 52,000 feet for their mission cruising altitudes. That's when we conduct our climb check, because we're going a lot higher.
Yes. Now, given that we can't unfortunately hear, it turns out, on the frequency we're listening to from the chase car, what will the chase car crew be calling out now?
So the chase car pilot, the driver, is counting the pilot down from different altitudes. From what I can see from the booth here, it is 4, 3, 2, 1, and nice.
Well now, that was quite the spectacle. From the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron, the Lockheed U2S